Hey everybody, how's it going today? Welcome back to another Full Queue developer stream where I do my best to answer your programming questions and share what I'm working on in real time, as is which way. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We had a viewer question from Daddy the Duck, and he was kind enough to subscribe. That was a fun question. Um, we worked on fixing a small bug in Haptic Studio, and we've continued on Underway. And I think that's what we're going to pick up today until we get another question. So let's build the app. And let's try to add a filter. Amazing bhop says hello. Hello. And we can see that the filter is working, but it did take a moment for it to refresh. So I think that's one thing that we can work on today. And I guess I'm thinking I will screen sooner. We had previously we had tried setting up an observation on the database. Dismiss self. Oh, you're looking at my code here. Um, yeah, I guess that must be this top bar. When you click done, it dismisses this. The screen dismisses itself, and it just calls dismiss. I think this was used in a couple different places, which is why I made it its own method. I think there was another button that was using it as a target. Although I wonder if that's not the case anymore. Because here it's used in a block. It's only used in a block now, so we can probably inline that. Let's see, let's build it without the at of C, which exposes that method to UIKit. Deleted. We can delete this method. And callback. Here. We can use weak self. File again. Failed. Here. Oh, because sometimes the presenter needs to be able to miss it too. When does that happen? Oh yeah, if they cancel the subscription prompt. Okay, so I guess we do need that still. I got excited there. It looked like it wasn't being used at all. Okay, so refreshing the screen. So I guess whenever we update the filters, we have a way to refresh the app. Whenever new data from the feed comes, we push out a notification saying, hey, everybody, refresh yourself. There's new data. Um, I wonder if we can do something similar when um, when there's changes to the filters. Like whenever we call one of these methods, um, yeah, so we can write to the database and then notify. Let's see, how could we do that? We could say something like, where is our refresh service? UI refreshed timer, and which notification does it send? I think we have another way that we refresh. We tell things to refresh. When we get new data from the server, we get fresh arrival times, a new info available. I mean, I guess it could just post a notification to say that like something the filters change. We could have our own notifications that we send out. And then when filters change, at the end we could say something like notification center dot post. Um, that's an old message there. Um, Thank you, stream elements, but I need to update that. So what could the name of this be? This could be filter station changed. I'm a little confused by these autocompletes. I feel like Xcode might be confused as well. Failed is the failure. Oh, um, Yeah, pass in the notification center. Let's see. Wow, look at this look at this text formatting. Let's see, I guess I could clean this up by moving this to a variable. Local app database path, maybe. Work with me here, Xcode. What are you doing? There we go. Come on with the music. Okay. So we're building, right? I guess we could write down the current approach. The current approach is post notification. Let's see, what other options do we have on notification center? Just post a name. Okay. I guess we could make an enum of this notification just to sort of save this in a constant. Extension, what is that? Notification.name. And that can be of type notification name, and we can initialize that with, this is basically a random string. Here we can just say filter station changed. That. And plus paren. So now we can add this to the end of each of these changing methods. Oh, this is load. We don't need to trigger anything on load. Just on the changes. And then back in the view, listen to notification on view. So this would be the all arrivals interactor. So if we make a change here, this screen should update sooner. Right now it's a little laggy. I think it's because it's happened on the regular 8-second UI refresh interval that I'm using to update the train times. So already here, we're listening for, like I said, that timer to refresh the screen every few seconds. We can also add an observer for what we just created. I think we can just call the same function here. Um, cool. So now let's see how that. See if that's a little bit faster now. So here, clearing, we already have a pretty fast. So then let's add a destination from Times Square. Yeah, so Harlem. That happened much quicker. Perfect. And if we take off that line, we can show sometimes it's a little slow. Maybe we'll get a little unlucky. So that time it was fast. Here we go. Here's a slow one. So I guess we want to check that it's always happening fast, I guess. I mean, it makes sense that it is happening fast because we're posting notification and we're listening to it. Cool. Ended up being relatively painless, although we did change a lot of files for it. Let's see, I don't remember writing this. Was this an autocomplete that Xcode did? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we don't need that. Still builds. We can use our notes as our commit message by posting a notification. Cool. So what's next? I guess the border here looks a little strange. We're able to get a nice border up here, so I'd like to sort of replicate the way we did the borders and hopefully clean up. The border just looks strange. Let's go over to those. I almost said go over to that website. Go over to that view. Navigate over to that website, www.untitled station filter routes view. Oh, I guess we can say what we're doing. Fixed border destination cell. Here's the routes view where we're doing two rounded rectangles in a Z stack. Um, and then let's see, let's close the other tabs. And then on the destination view, what I'm doing for the cell is what? I'm doing two backgrounds, so not a Z stack. Okay, so let's try converting this to a Z stack. What is it going to be? Is the padding going to be inside this or outside? Not sure. We can always change it. So you can move those off of these background modifiers. And then what else did I do here? So the bottom one is the background color, and then the one just, I mean, below in code, I think above in the view is the border. So let's swap the order, just like we have on the other screen. And I think in iOS 16, they're making this easier to do, but we're not there yet. We're still supporting iOS 14 on this app. So let's see how that goes. And we'll change it if we need to. Ooh, that looks good. Way better. That's way better. What else can we do? Read one trains. Okay. I would say that's done. You can say the name of the screen in there. Okay, what's next? I feel like this message here is a little plain. I feel like we should say like what this is. We're filtering trains to here. Maybe put like the signature of the station with like the badge, the borough badge, and the route badges. Also, just clicking on here should open the filter. Filter should open this filter screen. How can I make this more clear? Oh, and as I'm writing that, I'm only listening to notifications on one of the arrival screens. On the other arrival screen, I'm actually not. You tap on a train, we're at Times Square, and then say, I don't know, go to 96th Street. This arrival screen is not yet, you can also filter here, but this screen we haven't written the update for. So let's do that real quick. And connection screen. Oh, maybe I am already because it's the same. Is this the same interactor? With the wireframe. Oh, I am using the same interactor. Okay, so that is done. Okay, cool. Yay, code reuse. Okay. So tapping a filter on the display view. Like tapping this thing should open it up. Should open up this. It should be the same as tapping on here. So this view already has an output delegate. What's on it already? They're all. We could say tapped. Give it a prefix to not collide with other tapped methods that might be out there. So the compiler will tell us where we need to do this. Also, on the all arrivals presenter, we need the same method. And what's the other? Okay, slightly different model. Okay, so we hooked up what should happen when we tap, but we haven't hooked up the tap yet. So let's look into that. So should we make the whole thing a button? I don't think so, because we have like, having a button in a button would be weird. I feel like this is more a convenience thing. I feel like the accessibility readers would want to read this button here and the filter button here, and this is just kind of a convenience. So I'm going to use a tap gesture. So let's define it. Gesture or gesture? So we have to close that to Objective C. Um, tap gesture tapped, I guess. Only the best names for methods on this stream. Okay, and then this can call output dot filter tapped. And then when we create this view, we can add this tap gesture. Self.add gesture recognizer. Cool, so now we can tap on the filter button. We just tap on the filter bar and the clear button still works. Very nice, very nice. Mark that as done. Instead of saying should, we can say it opens. We did that on both screens. We can also test the other screen real quick. We can go to a connection. Add a filter here, I guess. Tap on it, and it works. Nice. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, this can be cleaned up a little. This doesn't need to be inside of a lambda. We can just kind of say it. Ow. Yeah, I'm doing the auto format, Control I, and it's just kind of just leaving it there. Okay. Indentation, I guess. Okay, so another thing that I've been wanting to do is kind of where we ended the stream last night is I noticed that on the station filter view controller, we have this kind of structure repeated twice. I can sort of show it a little bit. There's this top section and there's this bottom section. And they're both a Swift UI view inside of a hosting controller with a height constraint in this view controller and a way to update that height for our callback to come back with that height. It'd be kind of cool to make that reusable. The something like a height, self-adjusting height, Swift UI hosting view. Something like that, maybe. Where should we put it? Probably not inside of the screens. Maybe inside of UI. Component. I have a Swift UI folder. Yeah, maybe in here. What we call this height adjusting hosting view, maybe. And so what are the basic components? The basic components are a hosting view and a callback that will say it needs the layout and a height constraint. And then I guess some kind of callback. I guess the problem here is that yeah, this is the bounds of this view. I think what we really want is size that fits. If this is only height adjusting, yes, we'll use our current bounds for the width, but the height, I think we can say dot infinity. I think, or something that size that fits. Okay. So the height constraint is oops. We hosted view dot height anchor dot constraint equal to constant. Started at sort of 50 as the default, just to make sure that it draws something. If we set it to 0, sometimes it won't draw at all, and that's a different problem. let's see, what would our init method look like? Or rather, so this would be a UI hosted view, would be a UI hosting controller of some root view, with the view out, and participate in auto layout. So we need to pass in a root view. Is that going to compile? It has no initializer. Oh, it needs an initializer, yes. We were just getting there. You can only be used as a generic constraint because, oh man. Can I say any view? Oh, okay. Right, call super.init. We're going to participate in auto layout ourselves. Oh, right, this has to happen before super init. Wait, did we actually build? Okay. And then the last piece is how to pass in this update height callback into a hosted view. I guess when we did it explicitly, we were able to say like all this block. How should we kind of pass in a reference to ourselves? Yeah, I think I did this on my keyboard controller. Let me take a look at that. Um, let's look at the keyboard hosting controller. So this was hosting a UI view controller. And it took in an input as well. Okay. That means this should be initialized with an output. And then that's sort of on the onus of the person using this to call the output. Oh, that's gonna be kind of a circular reference, huh? Um, Hang on, let me get some water. Be right back. Let's see. So we want to pass in a reference to ourselves to the root view. Um, and maybe I guess we could have a like this could conform to a protocol where where it can take in a reference to the host. Um, let's see if we can sketch something out. I mean, I guess it's the same idea as here. Like we want to pass in something that can um, it's like really it's reference to the height adjusting host. Then we need to pass a reference to ourselves to. So it's like where this has a like a reference to the host. Oh, so I can do that. Can I set that as the initialization constraint? No. Okay, let's try it with what it's requesting. Let's use it as a generic constraint. Oh, oops, this is wait, did it actually build? That like that like caught me by surprise. I expect another failure. I'm sitting here staring at it. Okay, so let's try to use it. The station view 2, I guess, will equal this height adjusted hosting view, and the root view would be Why does it say conform to? Oh, we have some spelling errors. This needs a T. As in a reference to the host. Is a let constant. Oh, because it's a view, so it's a struct. Is that why? Yeah, root view comes passed in as a structure. Interesting. Oh, I have another idea. You can say view dot I don't know if we need a reference to that. Let's try something. One second, a little bit of drama. We can try to set an environment object of self. So can this view be an observable object? And is this going to cause a called a reference cycle? Let's see. Guess we could look. This is a weak reference or strong reference. Don't want to make a retain cycle. That's oh, maybe. Well, I guess we don't know what's the retain cycle yet, so we can first get it to work and then make it. Not get lost on the internet just yet. Let's go back to where we were trying to use this. Right. Okay. So let's save view again. And let's do that lazy business again. Oh, we're building. Comment out this old one. We have this new one. And instead of calling content did change, let's see, this can conform to posted. Yeah. Oh, but we can't. Okay, can't edit that. Just want to get it out as an environment object. What's it called? Height adjusting host view. Right, so I don't think we need to make this generic anymore. Oh. Crap. Let's we go back to any view, perhaps? And to convert to any view, we wrap it in any view, right? A. And then instead of calling content to change, we can now remove. We can call host dot update height. Okay, what's gonna happen? Get anything. Yeah. Whoa. Any errors? Nope. So we can call update height. Um, oh, oh, oh. Uh, right. We need to add add subviews. Self.add subview. Add some layout constraints. Constraint equal to self dot leading anchor. Dot top anchor and bottom anchor. And we'll put in the height constraint. Now let's see if it works. Yeah, it's a little tight. It's a little tight. And it's not tappable. Let's call update height right after we activate constraints. It's not tappable at all. Look at the view debugger. Bug navigator. Huh. If I initialize it to like 150 by default, does that change how it draws at all? Just trying to get information here. Oh, okay, so that's not changing anything. Oh, maybe. I mean, we're calling update height anyway. Um, maybe it just needs to like wait for the first like layout pass and then go again. Um, no, that's still not mean. We got to this breakpoint, right? Oh, now it changes. Yes, so we got to there. Hmm. What if we set it to be like the height of our self? I don't think this is gonna matter. Hmm. I guess we could see what size. Oh, because this has never been updated. This is the old one. Oh my. Okay. All right, it's been limited to be 50 by the view controllers. Um, Compiler will tell us where it is. Failed. What else is wrong? There we go. Okay. Wait, height. And that came through. Perfect. And if we remove this dispatch queue business, it's all the way down there. What are you doing? Way down there. Oh, is it because I gave it infinite height? It's just going as big as it can? It's weird. Oh, don't do that. Come back upstairs. See, we have a V stack, bunch of cells, and then a button. V-stack is taking up a lot of room, I guess. Come on, be nice, Mr. V-stack. Yeah, it's just taking up the whole screen. Okay, so what if instead of doing infinite height, just making the V-stack expand all the way, what if we did in fact just use self dot bounds dot size, self dot bounds dot size on the hosting view? A little better, a little better. The brand park, we want to go. That worked. It worked. All right. Okay. We can extract this to be like a default height. Let's see, do we need this update height? I mean, I think it's fine either way. We just want to, because we have the default height. I think we do want that there. Yeah, because otherwise there's a little bit of flicker. Actually, let's see if doing it right away removes the flicker. A little bit smoother. This one is flickering, I think. Okay. You can say this is first pass at height adjusting. Then we could say apply it to other view. In this view controller, we have oh, before I apply it to the other view, I wanted to make sure that it's not a circular reference. So I guess I want to like dismiss the view and show that it gets removed. This is the view that has it. And then if I clear the console, dismiss, didn't get a D in it. That's not a good sign. Let's look at our memory usage. We're at like 43-ish. Open the view. It's just kind of fluctuating a little bit. Go to maybe a different station. .5. Let's go back down. I mean, it's just it sounds like I'm not really sure what's going on with this. We're not getting this DNet call. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Let's see. We got a reference to that view here. No, I guess not. 7 new leaks. Who's doing a recursive lock? Okay, so let's go to a station. Put up the filter view. Oh, these are the database publishers. Interesting. And if I close the view, I don't get any new leaks. So I'm a little confused. We're not getting this print. We're not hitting this breakpoint. So is DNet is this thing in memory or not? Do we have a do we have a circular reference or not? Um, and if so, what do I need? What do I need to do differently? Um, let's see. Do I view D it not called? Interesting. I wonder if there's other callbacks we could use to see. Uh, will we can set a breakpoint here. See if what we get. Oh, we get in it. Let me restart it. I think I'm not sure if I rebuilt after making the code change, in which case the debugger would definitely be confused. Yeah, it's just we're just hitting this break. So we're getting it on present and on dismiss. The new super view is something. When we dismiss, new super view is nil. Okay. I guess when it gets dismissed, we want to maybe deallocate this view. Hello, hello, what's up? Playing with reference cycles. Playing with reference cycles between UIKit and Swift UI. When we dismiss, we're still not getting this dinit call. Um, oh, nice. Well, yeah, I guess it's somewhat entertaining. Um, I guess with what we're doing now is we have this height adjusting hosting view sort of wraps around a UI hosting controller so that like these two views are Swift UI views. Just put something random in there. These two views are the station list is a Swift UI view, and then the route list is a Swift UI view. And when when they get new content, their heights change, and I need to notify UIKit like set needs layout. Um, so I did that sort of manually, or long form twice, and I'm trying to extract a view to just do that, so that first example, instead of all of this, we just have the filter view using our so clean up the indentation a little bit. We have the Swift UI view inside of our height adjusting view, and it's working. It's working to adjust the height itself, which is great. However, it looks like we have a retain cycle, um, because it looks like the init is not being called. um, so I'm trying to sort of manually remove the hosted view, and hopefully that will um, break the retain cycle. I'm a little confused on what's happening. I'm not gonna lie. So then, when we close this, we should get the will move to new super view is null. So we should get hosted view equals nil. Yeah, so we're getting here. But we still aren't seeing this D init, this D init being called. Let's see, are there other ways to do this? I guess so you could put a D init on this whole view controller, like D init. Init on station view controller. And when I dismiss it, so we do get the D init on the view controller. We didn't get the D init on the view, which is pretty weird. Maybe because this is an observable object. Did you manage to solve your screenshot with mask app? Oh yeah, yeah, that ended up being really great. I can show you what I did. Where's my screenshot script? Screenshots. Yeah, so we take screenshots by running our UI tests, and then we get a mask. And by that, we fire up SimCTL, just take any kind of screenshot with the mask alpha of the device that we're using, which is Pro Max. This is our own little enum to keep track of the two kinds of screenshots we're taking. And then we trim the screenshots to sort of apply that mask. And this was kind of exciting. You know, we loop through all the screenshots that are taken, and we call trim screenshot on it. Here, what we do is we use core graphics. You load the CG image, you load the mask image, we convert them to data that we iterate through, and then because the pixels are in groups of 4 for red, green, blue, and alpha in the mask and on the screenshot, if the last one, which is the alpha, in the mask is 0, then we have this new buffer. We append completely 0 if the main image, the mask image, like just a plain screenshot of the simulator with the alpha mask applied. Otherwise, we append, the next 4 data, we just append them. And then we make a final image out of that data. And yeah, we write it to disk. And do I have some screenshots to show off in artifacts? So maybe in screenshots. Yeah, so this is the masked image, which is just with the alphas for the cutouts. And here's the originals, which are, you can see, rather boxy. And then after applying it, applying the mask, using that, walking through the data, we get these final images. Yes, the diff of both the mask and the pics are put to 0. Otherwise, you write data and the resulting buffer. Got it. Yeah. And the one tweak there is, the one kind of gotcha is the CG image alpha info pre-multiplied last. So last means it's red, green, blue, alpha. It's the last one. And pre-multiplied means it has to be zeros. One of the first times I did this, I was like, oh, I'll just use, the alpha component, but keep the colors. Um, so essentially something like this. So it wasn't exactly like this. But it's pre-multiplied. So that means 0 times 0 is 0. So that's why this is all zeros. That's the pre-multiplied bit. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it felt really good to get this, because on the website it just looks spectacular. Um, it really fits in with the vibe of the website in a way that uh, the rectangles just are a little too boxy. This just is nice and round, just like the font. Ooh, cool. Thanks so much for asking. Yeah, that was a fun little thing to figure out. Um, I guess what we're working on now is retain cycles. I guess I'm passing this view to SwiftUI uh, as an environment object. And I wonder if that's kind of the problem, is that this view is just staying in memory in SwiftUI or something. Maybe I need like a proxy or something. Um, or instead of it being an environment object, we pass in a block to call. ERB. Cool. I guess we're providing a reference to a whole object just for a hosted view to be called update height. Um, so let's see, extension environment values. And let's look at, I always forget how to do this from memory. Done this, copy paste. Default value is, I guess, nil, or maybe just that. Empty lambda. Hey, Dragon Dust, how's it going? Instead of using a protocol and an observable object, perhaps we can pass in just using an environment key. This would be this one, and the block would be something like weak self in, and it would just call update height. I think we don't need this anymore either. So then in the destination view, instead of getting reference to the host view out of the environment, we'll just get reference to that block. What do we call it? Just in callback key. Yeah, we're gonna have to change that. That's fine, just to see if this works. And let's also see. Let's not do this. We'll move to super view. I'm hoping we don't need to do that. Anything with that. I'm going to try to leave it out to see if we approach. We get our dinit call. Go to that view. Up the filter view, and looks like it worked. We got the new size. We click done. Now, oh, this is the view controller. We know that one's. And there we go. There's the dinit from the view. Nice. So we broke the retain cycle. Oh, good. So I guess the moral of the story is when passing in a reference to a view as an environment object, don't do that. Do something else. Okay, so let's see what kind of cleanup we can do here. Didn't need that. I did get the dinit, and I'm so happy about that. I'm going to leave that in just a little bit longer. Actually, let's just try it again. Let's try it again. We open up the filter view, the breakpoint set, close it, we hit the breakpoint. And the dinit for our hosting view. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, and beautiful. So we can move the environment values to another file. I need like a better name. Height adjusting hosting is this is very long. I mean, I guess UI hosting controller already pretty long. But I do like having hosting there. Height adjusting. So what it does, it adjusts heights. So naming things, one of the hard things to do in computer science. Adjusting host view, and adjusting. They call it a hosting controller, so I guess that's why I'm keeping the word hosting there. And I have two ings, adjusting hosting view. Not sure. But otherwise, this file is less than 50 lines, which feels good. We have the UI hosting controller with the root view that we initialize it with, and we embed it in ourselves, and we offer it a callback to say when the height changes. And when the height changes, we update height at the size that fits, and we update our height constraint. Oh, I guess one thing that we tried, I wonder if we can put it back, was this is the height of the hosting view. I wonder if we set the constraint back on the hosted view, um, if it will still work. Yeah, I didn't think it would make a big difference either way. It was just something to try to figure out what was going on back half an hour ago or whenever it was. Adjusting callback key. What's a better name for this? This is kind of an eyesore to look at all at once. Let's see, how can we clean this up? Um, I wonder if we can go back to using using generics here instead of any view. Okay, that's succeeded. So then in the place where we use it, did all this. You don't have to say any view anymore, so that'll make the call site nicer. Again, this name is just so long. It makes this whole line very, very long. I guess this is more like height did change. Posted height did change. We can update the usages of that. Okay, well, let's commit what we have. Let's see, we broke the retain cycle. Broke sounds like we broke something. Let's say we fixed the retain cycle. By passing in a block instead of a environment object. Cool, so let's do it for the other view here. Close the other tabs. So we also have the route picker view. This top part is also a SwiftUI view that's embedded. And just like the other one, it's all of this stuff that the view controller is managing. But instead, I think we can use our new height adjusting posting view instead. And I really want a different name for that. This can be all out. Oh, right, because this is still, yeah, so this is now still a block just like before. It's just now we get it from the environment. Environment, and the key is posted height did change? Yeah. Where is the build failure? Right, this is no longer an initialization property, just in the environment. Um, okay, so now we no longer need this route picker height constraint in the view controller, and we can delete it from, I think I deleted already. Route picker. Wait, did we build? And let's get one that has two lines. I think Atlantic Avenue has a lot of routes. Nice. Comes that to two lines very nicely. We go. I want to see trains to Flatbush Avenue. Wonderful. Cool. I guess we can say that's done. Tried to rename this thing, and I still haven't found a better name for it yet. I don't like the visuals of how the line breaks are. I put it on a new line, it goes all the way out there. I guess I would want it to look like that, huh? Thank you so much for following. Cool. So then let's adjust this view down here. It's looking a little plain. I think it could be more descriptive about what it's doing. Maybe not clean up, spruce up. Filter. Station view could be clearer. Okay, so let's open up that view, which is here. Looks like this is UI kit still. Okay. So what would we want here? I guess we could say, for starters, trains going to the station, like maybe like just above it. And then we can stack them. Well, and I guess this should be multi-line. Let's see, so we would say, so we can copy the lead-in and trailing. Then top and bottom would be different. This would be the bottom anchor of the title. Yeah, and then I think that's fine. Let's see if this looks any better. Oh, build failed. Is the line must proceed? Sure, thanks, Xcode. Ooh, that's tiny. But the first one looked good. Why is it so tiny? Until top anchor. Label top anchor goes to the title bottom anchor. Goes to there. I wonder if the cell is just really tiny or something. Um, it is. um, that should be 2 lines. Oh wait, it's the one that has it already on there. Train's going to Grand Central. Look at that. Um, I'm kind of curious why these two are showing up. Weird. Let's see. Let's get a longer station name down there. Maybe Avenue. Um, plus 4th Street. Filter. Train's going to Avenue. And it doesn't fit. Oh, it does. It just takes a while. And that's actually not that long of a name, huh? I guess this view should also listen for notifications, huh? Let's see. What is a longer station name? I think the longest station name is an avenue. So here, filter to Sutphin Avenue. It just cuts off the edge. Um, I guess that's okay, but I feel like it should dot 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 instead. There's not really room for a third line here. So let's let multi-line be false, and actually what we say is bold defaults to false. If we say an avenue, yeah, this needs to refresh itself when the notification fires. There we go. There's the dot dot dot. That's fine. And you can click in, you see the whole thing, you see the whole signature of the station. Wow, look at this done button. That needs to change. But for starters, when does this update itself? This whenever it gets a new view model. And when does it get a new view model? The presenter is the one that's in charge of making it. Arrivals view model, and then where do we set the, here's the station filter. This happens on update UI from the latest thing that was created. Okay, so I think that's a little bit of a tweak to our interactor. Right now, when the filters change, just call new updates back on the presenter, and new updates calls update data, I believe. So I could use search. Yeah, it just calls update data. And update data just gets the arrivals. But I guess it should also get the should also load the filter data. And where does the presenter load the filter data? That's where it displays it. It should be coming from the station arrival. Interesting. When the interactor yeah, so it returns the arrivals. We call update UI, and we display the view model of the filter. Interesting. Okay, that looks like that should work, but it's taking itself a moment. Interesting. I guess they changed at the same time, actually. That one was instant. Sometimes instant and sometimes not. Let's see. So another wait. Okay. When we call clear here, it shouldn't clear it totally. Let's fix that. Let's see. Clear button. Clear all. Just going to go back to the center. Clear all, which goes to the interactor, which should go implementation of the interactor. Yeah, so this needs to be updated. Here it's just deleting everything, but instead it should save at least the previous station into the previous station slot, kind of like we're doing up here. Like we could we could just delegate to this function. Something like that. So now I see Grand Central here. Now if I clear it from here, yeah, there we go. It's still there, so I can quickly reselect it. Perfect. See, we did a few things here. Um, filter display view. Uh, has the explanation text. If we're currently filtering by trains going to the station. Also, fixed here routes database method. The indentation there. Okay, so what else was wrong? There's something else going wrong. I think the done button was a little off on one of these. It was like Port Authority to no, that's oh, second time it opens up it's weird. Okay, so that would be I think that's this thing. Let's see, how do I hit the done button not to squash? Um, let's see, where am I creating this title label? Um, I'm setting a width anchor to be greater than or equal to something. I guess I want the done button to let's see, what is this? Or equal to or equal to. It's kind of always doing that, huh? Maybe we can set the compression resistance to be really Low or high? Let's see. So we want the title label to compress, not the done button. I mean, that's not example. Let's go back. Let's port authority goes through problem. Here we go. Let's get another. Oh, we can just check the stop we were looking at. An archer. Nice. See, that's weird. Like this thing updated before the filter title down here. Let's commit what we just did. What's the change here? Oh, there's just indentation. Um, Title of station filter bar. Let's see. Because that was something I thought we fixed like at the beginning of the stream. Fresh arrival stream sooner when filters change. Um, Clear routes calls creator update that has notify at the end. This function is notify at the end. This function is notify at the end. I'll notify at the end. Oh, unless there's a place where it's not going through the database. Ooh. Um, Let me see. I guess this is why people use this or this database interface pattern. When you're looking to make sure something happens, kind of do want to see all the calls all in one spot. Let's see. Here it is calling into the database. Where else? Let's view nation view. It's also calling through the database, so should be getting the notification there. I guess we're kind of returning back to this thing that I thought we fixed earlier in this. Trying to replicate it. Not replicating now that I'm looking at it. um, it's all happening very fast. I mean, it looks like it's fixed when I'm like inspecting this. Hmm. mean, I don't know what was going on. There's a little bit of jump um, first time we interact with the view. Oh, even if we the first time we interact with anything, interesting. Then further ones don't cause it to jump. I wonder why that is. I'm gonna try delaying this a little bit. Our As we update height as soon as we add the subview. Just sketching something out, see if this affects any change. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's not jumping. So a little bit of jump on it when it first loads. I wonder if we need to call update height twice. There we go. Now it doesn't jump. Um, is that okay? I guess because we're going by size dot the size of the current bounds of the view. Um, so it is trying to squish itself into something really small, and then maybe the second time it comes around, it see, maybe there's another way we can compute the height. Um, size that fits size, layout fitting size. Both of these take a target size. I wonder how these are different from size that fits. Let's try using system layout fitting size instead of size that fits. And let's remove this, the second call to measuring the height. Ooh, that's bad. That's definitely worse. Um, guess I don't really know what these mean. Let's look at the documentation. Determines the optimal size of the view based on its constraints, specified fitting properties. Paint a view that is as large as possible. Oh, I can pass in constant instead of saying the instead of an actual size. I can pass in expanded size. No, no, I can't. Oh, this is UI view dot. Okay, thought it was on CG size. Not quite. this is this is not it. Let's try this other approach. Uh, let's again try this constant out. And what would be default? Right at which the button hugs its content horizontally. Hi? Hello? I don't know. Let's have to play with it and see what results we get. Start with hi. Okay, that's not really a change at all. So let's try low. This is not really getting us anywhere. Let's go back to size that fits and see if we can pass in this constant. There we go. We just measured the height once using size that fits. None of these system layout size fitting seem to work well with the UI hosting control. It's a little surprising. Nice that we need to only measure the height once, though. Really happy with how this looks. Uh, that clearer? Maybe. Maybe this should just be the hosting controller directly. And then when we add it, this becomes a little bit longer. Is that okay? That might be okay. Oh, this is not going to work. Because we call that environment on it, so it's a different type. Any view? Will that do? Is this easier to read though? Not, not sure about that. Well, if I take off any view, what's the exact error that we? Convert value of type sum view to expected type content. The environment returns a sum view. I'll type it back into any view so that we can command click into it. Yes, return sum view. Okay. And I'm pretty sure we can't do that. Yeah. Okay. Yes, this looks kind of nice enough. So we have our initialization values, root view, and default height. We have our callback. We have our hosted view, height constraint, the initializer. Maybe this should go below the hosted view. Because the hosted view is the most interesting thing. Because it's really like the hosting controller. I really dislike this name. It's not a hosted view, it's a hosting controller. So that's the name of it. Alt Swift UI. I mean, this is the Swift UI view, the root view. Because like hosted view.view, that's a little awkward. Because I guess the alternative would be to say dot view at the end and then dot auto layout at the end of that. And say this is a UI view again. Which means that we might be able to not wrap it in any view anymore. Okay. That becomes a hosted view again. Something like that. I think trying to squeeze a lambda into here is yeah, that's just a lot to read. Yeah. Cool. And it looks like it works, so that's great. Okay, so that was a lot we got done. Um, how's everybody doing today? Hmm. Is there anything we can do to break this? I guess this done button is a little short station. Maybe we can adjust its hugging, the hugging. Uh, top bar. Hugging. Was West Fourth that we're having the problem at. There we go. Yeah, it stays the right size. This is getting close to being like ready to ship ish. Um, I guess there's a little bit of extra padding here. Maybe it should be removed. Where is that? That's the destination view. Let's have like padding top somewhere. Oh, it does. Let's try taking that off. Really changed the spacing, huh? Oh, here's some more padding. Um, there we go. That's a lot better. And then what does it look like when we don't have a pane in there? Let's see. Okay, that's a good distance. When we add one in, looks good. It's padding. Destination view cells. Then I just noticed something else. Oh yeah, the colors. Let's try to set the background on a button. Maybe blue is just fine. Very universal color. What else can we do to break this feature? But yeah, I guess if there aren't trains to Jamaica Parsons, then you'll see nothing. I guess the one idea is to limit the stations you can you can go to, or at least say like have a message about like no arrivals found or something. Um, see, so this is the yes, the arrivals collection view. I guess that's some old comments I can delete. That's nice. Um, oh, this is some old code in here. Wow. um, like that. And then the collection view can maybe show a different message if there's no arrivals. And so where would I want to? I mean, I guess it could be a little overlay that it like shows or hides. We do this with Swift UI. You say something like UI hosting controller view to text saying no arrivals. For this filter. Then when it gets a new view model, um, it can like add the view or not. Like Yeah, maybe we can do like an overlay, like far overlay. Maybe a UI view, and it has like a did set. So if it's nil, we can like hold value dot remove from super view. I guess no matter what, we're always going to call remove from super view. And if there's a new one, we can just add it. I guess that's really what we're trying to guard. Let's get some different music going though. And then we can, so this would be maybe like a build no arrivals view. Something like that. And then otherwise self.overlay equals nil. Um, Not get. Oh, let's see if we hit any of those breakpoints. Did. I'm a little confused. guess nil got called a lot, huh? We need to be a little bit more specific. If the model's there and it's empty, otherwise we'll null out the overlay, which should remove it. I guess adding views to a collection view is a little tricky, huh? Maybe this isn't the right place to do it inside of the collection view. I mean, we can look at the view debugger, right? Rivals collection view doesn't have any subviews at all. That's surprising. Let's put our breakpoints back in. Let's see, so it's PO model dot arrivals is empty. Is true, okay. And here, it's not empty. Oh, because it has two keys. Okay, so I think we need to tweak this definition. um, I just want to count the count everything, or I guess to be more specific, we could count the call is empty on both sides. Okay. Oh, okay. So it came through. It's all at the top and kind of a little awkward looking, but we can fix that. This is so funky. Okay. Let's see, where's my fonts? Um, okay. Like it as bold. We just body and we can set a foreground color. Okay. And I guess you know if there's a filter or not active. Um, if there's a filter active, we'll acknowledge it. Otherwise, we'll just say no arrivals at the station. Like that. Oops. Something like that, maybe. Spacing is so weird. That's a little better. Okay. And then we want to pass in this value, which I guess should come from this view model. Ah, it is happening. No arrivals view is filter active. Model dot is filter active. Entity has a station arrivals. You can say self dot is filter active equals if entity dot what's it arrivals where is it? Entity is a station arrivals. I think that's here. What is the failure? There we go. Clear filters. Nice. I don't think there's any closed stations right now. Um, so I'm not sure how to test it in the case where there's not a filter. Although I guess what we could do is force it, right? Um, well, let's commit and then do that test. Um, and I believe the way we did it, it should work for both arrival screens. We can test it. This is the connection screen. And say a train station does not go anywhere over here. Maybe like just Ave. Yeah, no destinations, no routes to the station for this filter. We should say no trains. It's the arrivals collection view. Message. Okay, now let's try to test it with without a filter active. Um, the way we'll do that is we'll just set these both to empty. Oh, it needs a column. There's no filter though, so that's a little surprising. And we are testing this. If filter is active, we show this. Okay, so it must be setting is filter active incorrectly somewhere. Yeah, let's set a breakpoint. Wait, no, okay. Um, there is a filter. So true. there's no filter laid down here though. Oh, it's not just that it's null. Okay. Because if there's a saved location, it's still present. So it's not just that it's null. Um, so if there are some included routes, or if there are some destinations, then it's active. That's what we want. There we go. There we go. Now we can put it back. We were able to see just having back that, and then if we do put in a filter, we get the correct message. Cool. Sorry, the correct message. Station. Cool. So how else can we break this feature? Um, see, is this clear? I mean, I've just been using this so long. I'm not sure if this is clear to folks. Um, filtered by route. I select a route, and then there's filter by destination, and then we should say search for destination station to filter. I mean, that's starting to get like a real mouthful there. All right, so this weird bug. Manhattan bound 7 train. So our filter is just a little bit off. Whoa, Times Square is on here twice. Okay, well, I guess I guess it's not a code problem. This is an MTA data problem. What the hell, my dude? Is there a duplicate ID? Wow. Like there's a duplicate train ID. Um, what is it? 103.55.0? That's the same train ID. Um, see, are these the same? 0717 1715? Yeah, those are the same as well. 1715 plus. Wow. Which one is the correct stop time? Let's see what the MTA's apps say. These 7 trains coming to Times Square. See, it doesn't have either of these arrivals, actually. Maybe they're just too far away into the future. Um, the farthest this goes out is 8 minutes. The farthest this goes out is like 10 minutes. Fascinating. I don't think we have access to the train IDs here on the MTA's website anyway. Um, okay, so 12 minutes away. So in about, oh, they disappeared. Weird. Same one, 3550 1715. There's two different arrival IDs, right? Do I show an arrival ID here? I mean, it's two different timestamps, so they are, in fact, two different arrivals in the database. Wow. that is beyond my ability to fix. MTA data problem. Yes. Let's see. So what else? What else can we break on our filters view? Not sure. Maybe there's nothing left but to like test it for realsies. This seems wrong. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it here for today. Um, Thank you so much for joining me. I stream every weekday starting at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. You can follow me on YouTube or Twitch or um, Twitter. Everything's here on my website. Links to my projects to download them from the App Store or find out more information. Um, Links to the tools I use. Stories about um, my keyboard. It's really helped my wrists out. Thanks so much for the questions and the likes and the follows. And ooh, I'm tired. Have a great weekend, everybody.